My dear friends, welcome again to our book club. We are featuring the works of Henry Nouwen, and we are reflecting on the compilation of his works entitled Following the Movements of the Spirit. So, this is a book, or rather, this is a journey towards the inner self. But before we proceed to that area, or to that particular topic, it is better to understand the varieties of methods and tools that we can use in order for us to have a journey inside. You know, when you are having a journey, as they said, I think it's a Chinese proverb that says, half of the journey is in the preparation. So you just don't go to a journey without any preparation. It is important that you have with you the necessary things that you need along the way, and the most important thing is not only what you have but the goal, the end point. I think there's another principle that says begin with the end in mind. In other words, in every time you do something, you have to look forward to what is your goal, to know the end of all this. In other words, closure. It is the same, almost the same, with the journey towards inside ourselves. So for this episodes, for this coming episodes, I would like to invite you to enter into that sort of perspective or attitude of a kind of a retreat. I was talking yesterday with a friend, and he came up with this bright idea, and he said that we have lost an opportunity. And so I asked him, what opportunity have we lost? I don't know what you mean by that. And he explained that it would have been better if the quarantine that we experienced for the past 2 months, more or less, would have been an experience of a retreat. That after the quarantine, we go out of our houses a new person, which is beautiful, pero I don't know if that is already a lost opportunity, because we have spent a lot of time already, and we are about to, well, by God's grace, hopefully and safely, we are about to go out of our quarantines, and we'll begin our new normal of living our lives. It would have been better if we have prepared ourselves well with regards to that. And for me, I told him, well, although I don't have that clear perspective, but in a way, the way I look at things is that I have been trying to reach out to those whom I know and those who are following my videos and my blogs, in a way to prepare ourselves also, not preparing them, giving them inputs on these things, so that when we go to the world, when we go out again, we are prepared. And hopefully that is the thing that we are doing here now. Again, I would like to emphasize that while the quarantine is about to end and we are about to hopefully resume our own way of doing things, but we have learned something. And as I already mentioned in the previous series, learning means change in behavior. Learning means a change in the way we feel, in the way we value. Learning means a change in the way we think. So, change in the mind or in the head, change in the heart, and change in our hands. So, kabay pa nga ini nga mga bagay-bagay has already been in place. Hopefully, with your continued watching of my videos here. So, I hope that in some sense, these videos were able to help you prepare for a new normal in a way. But here, I would like to add another dimension in the so-called new normal. The new normal that we will be pushing here is not really new. It is actually the normal that should have been in place. I am not talking of the social distancing this time, but I am talking of the grace of the resurrection of the Lord, by which we share in baptism. In baptism, we should have been cleansed, and we have been created as a new person. That is the way by which we were renewed. Unfortunately, instead of maintaining such life, we have been guilty of sin. And all of us, no exemptions. And that is the reason why every day is a chance to go back to that new reality. So, that is the new reality of a person who is saved by the Lord. I think it was Saint Paul. I think it's Saint Paul, but I don't know what particular letter of his. It was Saint Paul who said this very clearly in the letter, that we are no longer of the old creation. We are of the new creation brought about by the resurrection of the Lord. And that, I think that is always in my mind. I keep on saying that. I keep on saying that particular line, that we are no longer of the old creation. We are no longer children of the dark, but we are now children of light. We do not belong to the old creation, because Jesus has already renewed all things in Him, and we are now incorporated in that new reality, in that new creation. So, what I'm saying, therefore, is we are already in a new normal, or a new reality, to be more precise. Unfortunately, wala talang ginapangabuhi ina ang klase sang new reality. The reality that we are a people of the new creation, a people of light, a people of hope, a people of joy. And that is something that we have missed a lot. And so, my dear friends, how do we enter into that new reality? The answer is by baptism. It is by our faith and our baptism that we are able to enter into that new reality. Pero, just like anything else, that new reality cannot be made concrete if we are not going to do our part. That's why we have to struggle to set forth, to bring forth that new reality in our lives. I remember another passage from Paul. It says that the creation is already groaning, like experiencing the pangs of childbirth. No? So ara na gid siya. That the new reality that we are in, doon bata na gid siya. Galing amo na kinahanglan, just like in any other situations, we need to bring it forth by the grace of God, or rather we allow God to bring it forth, no? Because it is God who is doing the active role here. It is the Lord who is setting forth the new reality. So, my dear friends, along this line, I would like to invite you that throughout the series on our book club here, it would be good if you will have a diary with you. Just a short entry per day, or rather per episode. May gina siya. So, ginaagda ko kamo, mabaka sa gamay nga diary, gamay nga notebook, or whatever you have there. Basta sagad na kamo sa technology, maybe you can use your gadgets, and put an entry into that diary with regards to your reflections while watching the series on Henry Nouwen, on the book club series natin. So that by the end of this entire series, you will have something to remind you of your own journey. So that's number one. We will have, I invite you to have a diary. And every time that towards the end of the video, you may pause it actually. So, last time, if you notice, I posted a question. So it's only for a short time because the video is of course rolling, but you can pause it there after the live premiere. So if you are going to watch the replay, you may want to pause the what do you call this one? The video. But do not pause it, do not stop the video during the premiere. Because if you're going to stop the video during the premiere, you will miss the other what do you call this one? The other parts of the video, because it will jump to where it is live. You see? So my suggestion is just for those of you who are watching the premiere of this video, just allow the video to finish, and when I post a question there, just think about it. You don't need to write immediately. Just allow it to flow, the video to go on, and after the end of the video, you may want to take note already of your answers or whatever you want, and you can replay the video, or you can even forward it to the part where you want to see the question already. So in that way, our interaction here is not just merely one-sided, but towards the end of the series, you already have something concrete, no? Tikabay pa. And by God's grace, tignan natin, no? We will see how things will go on or turn out. Maybe kung allow na pila ka adlaw ang aton nga pag-gather in small groups, maybe you can bring those what do you call this one? You can bring those diaries with you and share it with others if you are comfortable, of course. Or maybe as a kind of a commencement exercise for our episodes on Henry Nouwen, I will ask you to siguro through Messenger or through Zoom, that we will have a conference, a kind of a video conference, and we will share our ideas there. But it will be in the future pa, no? Kaya I'm not sure if you are willing to do that or you are capable already of doing that. Some of you I know are doing it, pero I don't know for some. Mas makomplikado pag Father. Halos na kami gani makakuan. Halos na kami maka-access kay kami kabalo, tapos buta ka kami sang Zoom kag Messenger. Ano na Father man? Tiyan mo na siya. So, duha ka bagay nga ako entertain towards the end of the series. As I said, if we are already allowed to gather and safe na, maybe that will happen next year. Next year pa yan siguro, we can gather together and share our diaries, no? Our reflections with regards to all these things. But for the meantime, as a kind of a short or mid-term plan, I am trying to plan a live interaction with you. For those of you who knows how to do it, siguro by Messenger, no? For those of you who have, no, I know that some of you kabalo sila mag-Messenger, we can have a video chat in the Messenger, no? Although limited lang siya yung number of the people who can be in the screen, about I think 8 or 6 people lang, but in a way it can give us a kind of connection. Tignan natin. We will see how it goes, no? But for the meantime, yun lang muna. You prepare a notebook and as your diary. Now, you may say, Father, we are unprepared, we don't know. Okay lang, no problem. You can always replay the video. It doesn't need to be synchronous, as they say in the online learning, no? It should be synchronous nga both silingon, nga dungan gid. You can always replay the video. So, kung wala ka mo the notebook, subong, di patapusan na ang video, subong, let it be. Kapag tapos na, pangitaan mo sa notebook nyo nga pwede mausar o pwede ka mo makapabakal, no? Kag kung wala gig, Father, ECQ pa, etc. So many okay lang. As I said, you can always replay the video and you can always write your reflections anytime. No rush, no pressure. Okay, so that's one thing. We will be having a journaling of our experience here in our book club, because that is all, after all, the main themes in the writings of Nouwen. Okay, let's start now with another aspect on the lesson itself. Here, one of the most important development in the journey of Henry Nouwen in his intellectual as well as physical and emotional journey towards a greater wholeness of the person is that Henry would often claim that he was actually influenced by Anton Boyce. It was Anton Boysen, I think, who is the father of a psychological movement during the early 60s and 70s, wherein he is saying that the matter, the instruments for our understanding of the self is not outside, but our daily experience. So, psychological ang galing niya. Actually, the spiritual writers of the past has already been saying of these things, the lectio of life, no? The lectio vita or veti, lectio vitae, the lessons of life. No, ara na siya ya. Ano po silingon sina? Nga ginagamit naton ang eksperyensya naton, ginagamit naton ang aton nga daily life experiences as a matter for our reflections. Because it is also where God reveals Himself. In the traditions of the monastery in the desert fathers and mothers, we have what we call as the Lectio Divina. I will tell you about that in the coming episodes. Pero some very short description of Lectio Divina is we use the scriptures, the text of the scriptures, so that it will resonate with our experience. It would resonate with our lives. Now, lectio of life, on the other hand, is almost similar to that. But instead of reading a text or a passage from the scriptures, what we are doing is we are reading from the life experience that we have. And based on that life experience, we try to, what do you call this one? We try to discern the movements of the Spirit, where God is leading us. Di kita ginadala sang Espiritu, di kita ginadala sang Diyos. Okay, now, the inward journey, therefore, would be important that we are able to articulate the movements of our lives. Kisa natilawan nyo na nga do, Isabela, no, may mga vague feelings ka nga do, masindihan na ano ni man, what is this? Pero hindi ka ka-articulate. And because you cannot articulate it, because there is a dearth of articulation, there is the failure to identify it, it gives us confusion. I remember when I was growing up, as always, I am a person who loves to to remember the past, no? Last night I was writing a blog, an article which you can access by clicking the link below. That after this video, you may want to read some of my blogs or articles in my website. All you have to do is just look at the description of this video. There's a description there. Just click it, tap it. It will just redirect to that website. I hope you have been accessing that. So I was writing last night, and I was talking about the Japanese occupation. I am not an expert like Sir Mode. Kayo si Sir Mode sa ganyan sa mga Japanese. I'm not sure kung si Sir Mode is also into that, but anyway, the point is I am not a professional historian, but just merely someone who loves to, remember the past. So I was writing last night, and I came to realize now, it was just last night that I came to realize, why am I fascinated with the past, and especially ruins? Ano ko sa mga ruins ya. I don't know, that's why I told you in the past episodes that when I go on tours or pilgrimages, I love to go to places that is not modern. I am dizzy. I get dizzy whenever I am in the midst of a modern metropolis. I don't know what to do because everything seems to be the same. Baligyaan naman ang tanan. I remember in Shibuya, that's in Tokyo, the Shibuya district, I think, is famous for the shopping. It's the shopping district of Tokyo. So we went there last time, and these are just the same. All things of the same. I mean, different presentation, but still all are stores. Yun lang. Di bisa matanaw kadto kanami isang ilang nga mga facade, isang ilang nga storefront, etc. sa display. Di ano na kay baligya man na tanan gyapon, it's all the same. There's no story for me there. Instead nga, it made you realize that how poor you are. or how poor I am. Ngayon nga, huwag ka mainog bakal, perti ka mahal. Siguro ma-enjoy niya yung mga tao, yung love shopping, no? Kag may kwarta for shopping. Pero for me, I don't really like it. But I like those places that are ruins yan. Mga guba-guba. So last night, I was writing my blog. And then, I came to realize, ay, nga. Kaya I remember when I was growing up as a little boy, every Saturday, later on it became a Sunday, I would go to my grandmother's house. And before, that place, or that location, was the ancestral house of my great-grandparents in the paternal side, in my father's side. But during the war, during the Japanese occupation, it was occupied by the Japanese forces and they converted this as the headquarters and as a garrison. Now, what happened during the American liberation? They bombed that house. It was destroyed. It was said that that house, according to stories, no, of the older generation that when I was still younger, I keep on talking with them. They would explain that that house was very, very large, no? As usual, no? But it is, that's why they said nga, every Holy Week, the entire house will be the brightest house in the town, no? Okay? Because of there are lots of lights there, pero it was bombed. What was left is actually the well, bubon. When I was growing up, I saw it. Is the well that was located in the middle of the courtyard, and then a big ruins, a ruin lang, isa man lang to, of a wall, of a doorway actually. So it's a wall with a door. So it's made of tisa and there are stones there that they pang tapon man nila, no? Kag makita mo ba lang nga, I can imagine how big the house is because that is how it looks, no? The ruins look. So siling ko ay pasi siguro diri naghalin ang ako fascination with ruins because it brings me sweet memories of my childhood. Dira ko nagsugod ang fascination ko kay doon tumago sa una. Ara na siya sa kilid sang balay nga ginaistaran sa ako nga mga tiya. Ting balay subong sa mga tiya ko gamay na lang siya yan. Pero makita ko na siya kung mangihi ko, gagwa ko na siya sa balay mo dito ko sa may kasagingan nagapangihi. Di ba kasagingan sa kilid? Makita mo na nga kadamol-damol na klase sang dingding. Kagdako-dako ang klase sang pertahan, and that is only the side door. That is not the main door pa ha. It's just the side kasi the location is near the one corner of the block. So that's the side lang. So you can imagine how big the house is, and they said that the house encircles the well. The well is almost in the middle of the block of the entire 4 streets. No? So in a way, it must have been a very big house. Tisiling ko, na-realize last night, this is where my fascination for ruins came from. Nga namin ako matanaw sa mga guba na, sa mga dingding nga wala na sa atop, kag wala naman sa kwan. Nga namin ako matanaw sa mga puste. Mga no, you have seen my works when I went to Turkey. So you can really see there are all just ruins. Kasi ko it came from that. So my dear friends, you see, that vague before last night, I cannot really explain why I was thinking I love history. Yes, partly. Pero kung padalman mo pa igali, no, if you go deeper, why is it that I love this kind of history? Because of my childhood, no? My fascination started with that wall. And because every Saturday or Sundays, I would go to my lola and I would listen to her stories about the Chimpu Hapon. Sa mga chimpo hapon, kag sa iya nga childhood, her own childhood memories. And that wall, or that ruin of the wall of the house, or the doorway to be more precise, is actually part of her memory. So my dear friends, that is what I'm trying to say here. The articulation of the inner sentiments or feelings that are somewhat vague if we are not able to identify it. So how do we identify? How do we articulate? It's by diary. So I will pose a question now, and hopefully you will be able to meditate on this question, reflect on this question. Thank you, and I hope to see you again next time for this episodes on Henry Nouwen. This is not yet the end of the video. You still have a question part, reflection part to follow. Thank you very much. Enjoy the journey towards the inner self.